Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to show you DIY miniature school supplies, soda inspired. If you enjoy this video, please click that like button and comment down below with any future video suggestions you might have. And if you're not already subscribed and would like to see more fun DIY videos, please click that subscribe button. To get started with this first set of DIY miniature school supplies, you will need some of these miniature hot sauce bottles. I will leave a link down below to where I found these. Enjoy the hot sauce inside, then thoroughly wash and clean out the bottle and the lid. This step is optional, but I chose to remove the little white piece inside of the lid. Next, I'm going to use some green acrylic paint, and I'm going to take 4 of the caps from the mini bottles and paint the tops. Once all my caps were painted, I set those aside and let them dry. Now I'm going to take some orange acrylic paint and paint 2 of the little mini bottles. Once both of those were painted, I set them aside and let them dry. Next, I printed out these printables. I will leave a link down below where you can find these, and then I cut them out. Now it's time to start assembling the school supplies. So for this, you will need a lip gloss applicator. You can find a new one online, or you can use an old one, just wash and clean it. The other thing that you can use is a paintbrush. To get the right length for the bottle, I'm going to use a toothpick and place that in there and mark it off so the toothpick and the cap will all fit in the bottle. Once I had it marked, then I just used a pair of scissors and cut it. For the first one, I'm going to use a lip gloss applicator. I just placed my toothpick next to that, marked it, and then cut it down to size. After the caps had dried, I'm going to place some hot glue in the cap and glue the applicator to the cap. To make the soda bottle highlighter, I'm going to take an orange highlighter, remove the cap on the bottom, and empty it out. Next, I put on a pair of gloves and I squeezed out the highlighter into a cup. This step is optional, but I wanted my highlighter to smell like Orange Crush, so I'm going to squeeze a little bit of this Water Enhancer Orange Crush into it and swirl it around. And this actually does smell really, really good when you use the highlighter. The next step is just to pour the highlighter into the mini bottle and do it very slowly because it will get messy if you try to do it quick. Now place the cap with the lip gloss applicator into the bottle. Using one of the labels I cut out, I just put some glue on the back of it and glued it to the bottle. And that is how you make the soda bottle highlighter to go in the 4-pack. To make the soda glue bottle, I'm just going to put a little bit of Elmer's glue in a cup. This step is optional, but if you want your glue to be orange and to smell like orange, I just added a little bit of Kool-Aid and mixed that together. For the glue applicator for this one, I'm going to use a paintbrush. Just make sure it's one that fits in the bottle. Use the toothpick as a guide, mark it off, and cut it where it needs to be cut. Next, I just glued it to the cap. To get the glue in the bottle, I'm going to use a cat feeding syringe. I just placed the glue in the syringe and then squeezed it carefully into the bottle. Now you can place the cap with the paintbrush on it into the bottle. Use one of the labels that was cut out and glue that onto the bottle. And that's how you make the soda glue bottle that will go in the 4-pack. Next will be the DIY miniature pen soda bottle. So for this one, you will need a ink pen. The first thing that I did for this one was I took the pen apart and removed the ink from the inside. Then I took my toothpick and I marked off on the pen where it needed to be cut, and then I cut it. For this one, I will be using one of the bottles that I painted. I took one of the labels that I cut out and glued that to the front. Now I just glued the pen that I cut to the cap. And that is how you make this DIY miniature soda bottle pen. And the last bottle for the 4-pack will be a pencil. So for this one, I took my toothpick, placed that next to another toothpick, marked it where it needed to be cut off that end, and then I also cut off the sharp tip from the other end. I will be using the pencil lead from one of these pencils. Glue one side of the toothpick to the pencil lead. Using the other bottle that I painted, I glued the last label to that bottle. Now glue the other end of the toothpick to the cap. And that is how you make this DIY miniature pencil soda bottle for the 4-pack. To make the soda carrier to fit all of the little miniature bottles, print out both of these boxes and cut them out. Next, just fold both of your boxes on the lines. Using an X-Acto knife, I cut out the handles. Here are both of my boxes once they were folded and the handles were cut out. Next, I just glued the boxes together. Once both of my boxes were glued, then I just glued the back side of one of them and glued the two together. And now you can add all your DIY miniature school supplies to the little soda box. If you want to make Coca-Cola, what I did for this one is I took some brown paint and some black paint, and I mixed that in a cup until I got the desired color of the cola that I wanted. I took 4 of the little mini bottles and I painted all of those. Once the bottles are dry, print out the labels, cut them out, and glue them to the bottles. To make the DIY miniature pen for this one, I followed the same steps as I did for the orange soda. the DIY miniature pencils, again, I just followed the same steps as in the orange soda. For the glue, choose either a lip gloss applicator or a paintbrush and follow the same steps. To make the glue, I poured some glue in a cup and then I added some cola flavoring extract and stirred that together. And to get it in the bottle, I used the same procedure as before. And for the highlighter, you can use any color. I chose blue. I just followed the same steps, and this time I mixed in some of the cola extract, just like I did in the glue. And that's how you make the amazing smelling cola highlighter. Now print out and cut out and assemble the boxes the same way as the orange soda. And that's all there is to the easy DIY miniature Coca-Cola school supplies. Now to make the miniature squishy notebook, you will need a foam roller like this. Mark the middle of the roller and then cut it in half. Using some sterling silver acrylic paint, I painted the rollers. Print out the soda labels and using clear tape, tape over the top and cut them out. Glue the back of the label and glue to the roller. Using a piece of cardstock paper, I placed the soda can on top of that and traced around it and cut it out. Gather a bunch of sheets of paper and take the piece of cardstock that was cut out, trace around that and cut out several sheets to form the notebook. Once you have all your sheets of paper cut out, take the piece of cardstock and place that on the back. And then just with some Elmer's glue, I glued along the top to bind the notebook. Here's mine once it was dry. The next thing I did was I just glued on the piece of cardstock and glued that to the soda can. And that is how you make this easy DIY miniature squishy soda can notebook. I hope you guys enjoyed all of these DIY miniature school supplies inspired by soda. As always, please remember to like, subscribe, comment, and share. If you have any future video suggestions, leave those in the comments. Until next time, I hope you guys all have an amazing day.